It's Tuesday night. That means it's game time. What's up, Gamer Nation? How you doing? This is HUD Zero, the old school gamer, and of course the Iron Heart of Xbox, and welcome to another episode of Gamers Play, where we do everything all retro, all the time. How you doing? If you have visited my channel for the first time, please, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to my channel, because we are going to go deep, that's right, way deep into the gaming lore. That's right, we're talking about retro gaming, the gaming of the past, the games that we grew up playing, the games that actually built the house that we built. That's right, the games that we have been playing since the arcade days, the days of Atari, the days of blocks and blips. We have always known that we are the building blocks. We are the ones who actually created this utopia of gaming goodness. All these games that you are playing right now, without us, the passionate gamers, we would never have seen at all. We have been through it all. We've been through the gaming crash. We've been through the time where E.T., the piles and piles of E.T.s buried in the Nevada desert. We've been to the time where video games were known as influencers to the youth. We've been through politicians. We've been through gaming violence. We've been through the gaming ratings. We've been through it all. We've been through sexism in video games. Oh my gosh, we've been through a lot. And guess what? We are still here. We are growing strong. We are billions of players strong. We went from the wonderful CRT TVs, the black and white TVs, to the now, the ultra sharp 4K, 8K video screens that we have today. And of course, we are now going back to the beginning. That's right, what goes around comes around. Where gaming actually began is where gaming actually will stay. Now, I just want to put out a couple of caveats for 1 second. Don't get me wrong, video games right now should evolve. Video games should actually get bigger than they actually is. 3D gaming, 3D such as virtual gaming, that is still in its infancy stages. I remember when I played virtual reality games, when there was these big monstrosities that we actually had to put on this headset, and we had to sit inside this octagonal stage, and you had this screen on the top that everyone can see on the outside, but you're on the inside, and you have this on there, and you have the little controls in your hand, and you're actually looking around, and you're firing shots, and you look behind you, can see behind you, and shooting mechs and stuff like that. And now we actually have them in our living rooms. Can you imagine in a world nowadays where this was not possible, having virtual reality in your own living room, having handsets that actually can recreate 3D realms without 3D goggles, i.e. the Nintendo 3DS. You see, retro gaming and gaming as a whole is reciprocal. Everything belongs. It could be from the smallest games that actually only moves blocks to sophisticated games where you're actually solving puzzles and everything, and actually having realistic graphics, and graphics that almost look too realistic, to storylines that actually can rival movies. We, right now, as a gaming nation, have, I can't even call it responsibility, but we actually are the pioneers. We are the ones who actually can make this industry grow. And you know what? I personally had to salute every single one of you guys and gals that are out there playing and sharing and showing your passion for all these wonderful games out there. And with that thought, let's talk about retro games and why retro gaming is actually coming back. Now, there's a new service called Antstream Arcade. Well, it's not fairly new. It's been around for about a couple years now. But they have been doing major improvements to the concept of Antstream and of streaming services, when it comes to streaming games. But these are different because the preservation of video games is a big thing for me, especially for many people, especially the CEO of Xbox, Phil Spencer. I've always been an advocate of backwards compatibility, of making sure that you can bring your games forward, having older games and having the games come along with you. This is I still think nowadays it should still be a thing. Now, I noticed that gaming mediums have changed over time. It went from cassettes to huge diskettes to multiple discs, to from floppy disks to multiple discs to CD-ROMs, to hard drives, from small ones to thumb drives, to mini SSDs. I mean, the evolution of the medium has actually grown. Now that video games have become digital, people are afraid that the retro gaming will never become mine. Well, you know what? Video games were never yours in the first place. It never was yours. It never was mine. You know what video games are? It is a medium that is for everyone. And I feel that people have a disservice. Yes, some people like to be selfish. People like to claim everything that they want to be the kleptomaniac of video games. But you know what? That is the reason why the video game industry has not grown. It hasn't grown because people are selfish. People don't want games to be shared that much anymore. And that is why video games have not gotten bigger. But with services like Antstream Arcade, you can actually be able to have the opportunity to play these games. Which this is what it is all about, though. Video games are supposed to be played, not sitting on a shelf collecting dust. And this is something that I actually have been telling everyone about, which is the reason why I sort of kind of came to grips with a lot of games that I actually gave up in my past. I came to grips because these games, yes, granted, I was able to play them, but the thing is that I like the experience shared. I want somebody else to know the joy that I actually have played. And it's more fun when you're sharing these experiences. Why? Because you're actually building more people to get passionate about these games, and maybe you might create new devs, create new publishers, new indie developers to create new experiences that are similar to the old school retro styles that you may have forgotten about and everything, or even loved. Why not? So, getting to Antstream. Antstream Arcade has been around for roughly about a couple of years, and I believe it was I forgot the developer's name, but the creator of the Antstream Arcade. If I could find the name. Okay, well, as I find the name, the great thing is that Sarah Bond, you know, is, you know, has been very passionate about gaming growth, and she was actually the pioneer to Game Pass, which is actually another great thing. Game Pass gives you access to hundreds of games and everything for a low cost. It's a gaming service, and new games, you can date games and new games in the service and everything, and actually have the ability to get your hands on games that you probably would never been able to play before. This is the same thing. Now, what's great about Antstream is that, you know, you have an option. You know, you have a lifetime version of the thing with this called $89.99 US. And in most places that, you know, it's like $143, but which is like, you know, like Australia and stuff like that. But I have a feeling that with that, you are actually contributing to a bigger cause: the preservation of video games that you just can't get your hands on anymore. I mean, how many copies of Burger Time do you know out there? Or have you seen? The only Burger Time that I remember, I believe it was on the NES. NES had a Burger Time game. And I think there was arcade, and also on Game Boy. Game Boy, I think it was. Game Boy. But, and, you know, Super Burger Time, I think, came out also. But, and what about Bad Dudes? Bad Dudes was only available, what, the NES? Wasn't on any other console, really. NES, they had their own version, but it was actually not the arcade version, you know. I'm pretty sure, I mean, there's many games that are licensed, you know, like, for instance, Pac-Man, you know, and things of that sort. They had it there for a short period of time. I think it's only still available on PC, but I haven't seen it on Xbox. I actually looked on there, and I didn't see it. I think they might have taken it off. But and maybe I'll check on. I've been asking. I haven't got the answer about that. But they had Pac-Man. They had Rolling Thunder. Both of those games, I don't see them on there anymore. And there's games like the Star Wars series, like Super Star Wars, that came out for the SNES. You have all three: Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, and Super Return of the Jedi. All three of them are actually playable on this service, as well as the arcade versions of the Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back, and also the Return of the Jedi. You know, you have the arcade version of Asteroids, and of course the home version. The 2600 version of that one. You have Adventure. Remember Adventure? I mean, that's also playable on the streaming. And you know what's great about the games too? I mean, even though it's a streaming service, the latency is almost non-existent. There's like almost zero latency. The thing, like 3 milliseconds. You can. It's almost like you're playing the games natively. I've been playing games like Twitch games. I'm talking about shooters that, you know, that you literally need seconds on the dime to move your ship. You're able to play these games and it's like playing the games natively. I'm so amazed at the tech. So anyway, I know I'm going on and on about it, but you know, you guys gotta check it out. It's only $29.99 a year. For a year, $29.99 for $30, and then of course you also have the lifetime version. I think, like I said, that's $29.99 US, $89.99 US for. Sorry, $79.99 US for the lifetime version. The lifetime actually gives you unlimited access to all you get. There's things like tournaments. They have weekly tournaments and stuff like that. So, you know, so 7 days you actually have an opportunity. You use your gems that you actually earn, and you can put it into a pot, and the pot grows as more players get in, and you can take as many chances as you want to actually get the high score or whatever it is in a game. I actually was in third place in Double Dragon. You had 1 minute to actually get the highest score you possibly can. I was in first place for a little while, and then actually, they got knocked down to third place because I had to go to work. How upsetting was that? Same thing with Super Smash Brothers, Smash TV. I'm sorry, Smash TV. They had a tournament. I think you had to with one life. You had to get through all of get through the stage as much as you can without dying. I was in, I believe it was in 10th place for that. R-Type 2, same thing. Get the highest score you possibly can without dying. And I think I was in 14th place for that. Man, and there's more challenges right now. There's Gunbird. I think they give you one character to choose. There's only one character that you actually use. One life. You have to get the highest score you possibly can. Right now, I'm actually got knocked down to 4th place, so I am actually going to be playing my darndest to actually get myself that high score. So, if you want to challenge me, go on there. HUD Zero is my name. Go on there, try to challenge me, or go into the challenge. Nothing. Try to beat my high score. See how well you actually do. I can't wait to see you in there. Man, let me tell you. Yes, gaming is back, baby. Gaming is back. Well, you know what? I mean, there's opportunities to actually be able to build a channel just like mine. But with your help, you can actually come and put a small donation to actually help my channel grow. That is why I actually built my own Patreon. That's right. You can get on Patreon right now for only $2 and actually put a little bit of love into my channel. I can actually be able to put funds into the channel and make the channel grow. And as well, I can be able to reward all of you, those who are loyal and actually help me out and to build this channel. And also, you can actually be able to put your, put a little bit of love out there and share my content with others, so that way they can actually be able to do that. So the more you actually give, the more tiers I can actually put into my service, the more rewards I can actually do. I'll even throw in a couple of live jams and everything. You could be able to play with me, and you can get on there, and that's for members only. Who knows? But only with your help. So please, why don't you go on ahead, visit the channel, this right over here, right below. You see this right here? Yeah, you can see that. Go ahead and click that. Please, why not? Watch the channel grow and everything and be part of the Gamer Nation. It only takes $2 to become a retro starter. Well, of course, a little bit of housekeeping to put out there. I actually do want to come up with some other shows. I did have a Retroller Mondays that I was actually trying to do, but of course, due to my scheduling conflicts, I was not able to do anything like that for a while. I believe my Fridays are actually starting to free up a little bit, so maybe I'll come up with something. If you guys have any ideas at all, please, you can actually go to my Twitter page or my X page. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm actually saying this X page. Really, Elon, man, I don't know what you've been smoking, but dude, really, X? That's all you can come up with? Nothing else, you can come up with? I mean, had to be X. Really, X? Oh my lord, I don't know. Well, I guess maybe there's it turns out that a lot of Xbox fans actually do like X. Phil Spencer actually likes X. Microsoft seems to like X. Sarabon happens like X. Maybe X it is, maybe it's Zex or something like that. Or they would have called it X.com. Boy, I can, you know what? That's some trouble, man. That's some trouble. Anyway, you can go to my, I'm gonna call it Twitter. I'm gonna go to my Twitter page, and why don't you go ahead and at HUDZero, HUDXERO, and why don't you go ahead and hit me up in my DMs, so that way we can discuss a couple ideas. Also, if you feel like it, why don't you go ahead and shoot me some messages on my YouTube channel as well. I'll read them, you know, and please be discreet and stuff like that. You know, you know, a little bit of criticism is okay and everything. Harsh criticism and everything is noted. You know, straight up bashing and everything will be ignored. But who knows? But anyway, and also, why don't you go ahead and check me out next week? I'm actually going to do a few more things. I actually do get a couple, a couple of shout outs here. I want to give a shout out to the graphic god, Jay Williams. He's been, you know, very good friend. You know, my Canadian buddy. He's been helping me out a lot with the artwork and what have you. And of course, I actually did a couple of tweaks of myself. Yeah, that's about it. But I'm making mine short tonight, you know, because, you know, like I said, life gets in the way. But I tell you what, next week we're going to get really down and dirty when it comes down to you know, to a lot of things that are going on in games. Maybe we could talk about a couple of new games that are coming out as well. Also about Diablo 4. What's up with that, man? I Diablo 4, I mean, I was having fun, and now I'm not having fun. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that. But anyway, this is me, Hud Zero, the old school gamer, of course, the Iron Harder Xbox, and remember, it's always game time. Game over, man.